Okay, and how did you do? All right, are you able to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you have any questions from it?
Yeah, 1E.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's start with 1E then. So, okay, so I'm using the substitution method. That was the one that was asked of you, right? So the one thing I want to look for in the substitution method is if any of the variables have a coefficient of 1 or -1 in front of them, because then it's the one that I want to isolate. So looking at this, I noticed that B has a -1 in front of the y here. So I'm going to arrange this a little bit different. I'm going to add the y to this side and subtract 41 to that side. So I'm going to end up with 8x minus 41 equals y. So now I've isolated my y variable, right? So now what I can do then is where I have y in the first equation, I'm going to substitute 8x subtract 41 into it. So I go to a 2x plus 5, 8x minus 41 equals 5. Okay, so I've substituted it in. Morning, Emma. I substituted it in, and I've got 2x plus 40x minus 205 equals 5. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect my like terms. And I add the 205 to this side. So now I have 42x equals 210. When I divide 210 by 42, I get 5. So I know that the x value of the intersection point is 5. So now I'm going to use B up here. And I'm going to substitute it in to find out what y is. So I go 8 times 5, subtract 41, equals y. 40 subtract 41, -1. So my intersection point is 5 and -1. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my answer. I want to find out if I've got it right. So I'm going to use the first equation. So I'm going to go 2 times 5 plus 5 times -1, and that should equal 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 subtract 5 is equal to 5. I know I have the correct answer for it. So the first thing I did in this question is I recognized that the y here had a coefficient of -1, which it then allowed me to isolate the y in equation B. So I made it 8x minus 41 equals y. And then I substituted it into this equation right here for 8x minus 41. And then I solved. I got x equals 5. And then I needed to find out what the y value of the coordinate was. So I used one of my two equations. And I can use either of the two equations to solve it. I ended up with 5 and -1. And then my check was down here. I use that to check the solution. Okay. what did you have an issue with there, Emma?
Right at the beginning of the question, when you're isolating the y, I didn't do that. So
Okay.
I did something else.
Okay. So that's the whole key to the question right there, is that first part.
Yeah.
Can you isolate that very first part there? And that's the whole key to that question for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Did you have any other questions from that questions 1 to 5 there?
Good.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right. The other two girls, did you have any questions from 1 to 5 today?
I'm good.
You're good, Avery?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we'll do then is I'll give you time this morning. You can work on questions 6 to 14, I guess. We'll work on 6 to 14 this morning. I'll leave you on live here so that you can ask for help. Emma P., did you get your assignment from yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay, so I think I put the due date as next Monday, didn't I, girls?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so take some time this morning. Work on questions 6 to 14, and I'll stay on here with you in case you need any assistance. Okay?